Have you ever noticed that a lot of startups do not actually die because the product was terrible, the founders were lazy, or the market was too small, but because somewhere along the way they built something people could try without ever building something people could truly trust? Because that is the real question founders should be asking now. Not just whether there is market demand, not just whether the product solves a problem, and not just whether investors will write the next check, but whether the business is building the one thing that still matters after the excitement fades, the ads stop working as cheaply, and the market stops handing out attention for free. Now, let me ask you two very direct questions before we go further. If your startup disappeared tomorrow, would your customers actually care enough to come looking for you, or would they simply move to the next option because what you built was useful but never deeply trusted? And if the market has become more crowded, more skeptical, and less patient than ever before, why are so many founders still behaving as if headcount, funding, and ad spend are the main signs of strength when those same things often make a business more fragile, more expensive, and easier to kill? Stay with me until the end of this video for three reasons. Because first, I'm going to show you why the old obsession with scale has quietly become one of the most dangerous startup delusions in the market. Second, I'm going to break down the one asset that now matters more than vanity metrics, more than noise, and in many cases, more than raw size. And third, I'm going to show you what founders actually need to build if they want a company that survives after the hype, instead of one that looks impressive for a while and then quietly bleeds out. And if conversations like this help you think more clearly about what really builds durable businesses, click like, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with other founders who are still chasing the old playbook as if the market has not already moved on. Now let's reset the frame properly. For years, startup culture sold founders a very seductive lie. The lie was simple. If you raise more money, hired more people, ran more ads, built more product, and moved faster than everyone else, you would create a moat so large that nobody could catch you. Growth became the religion. Scale became the proof of worth. If a company was getting bigger, people assumed it was getting stronger. That belief created an entire generation of startups that looked powerful from the outside and were weak in all the places that actually mattered. They hired too fast, they spent too fast, they expanded before the foundation was real. They optimized for looking important rather than becoming indispensable. And because the market rewarded noise for a while, many founders confused visibility with durability. Now the market is less forgiving. Customers have more options, less patience, and lower trust by default. Investors are no longer impressed by the old growth at all costs fantasy unless the economics underneath it make sense. Teams are more expensive. Attention is more fragmented. Retention matters more. Reputation matters more. And in a world where people can compare 10 alternatives in 10 minutes, the business that survives is not always the loudest or the biggest. It is often the one people actually believe in. That is why the biggest startup asset today is not scale, it is trust. A lot of founders still do not want to hear that because trust sounds softer than growth, softer than funding, softer than technology, softer than category dominance, and all the other phrases people use when they want to sound powerful in investor updates. The market does not care about your vocabulary. The market cares about whether customers believe you, stay with you, recommend you, forgive you when you make a mistake, and choose you even when a competitor is cheaper. That is what trust does. It changes the economics of survival. Now, here is the ruthless part. Many startups do not fail because there was no market need in the simplistic way people repeat on podcasts. They fail because even if the need existed, they never built enough trust for customers to commit deeply, return consistently, and tell others with confidence that this company is worth choosing. The product may have solved the problem, but the business never became emotionally or strategically irreplaceable. That is a much deeper failure. Because once the market becomes crowded, useful is not enough. Useful gets compared. Useful gets priced. Useful gets replaced. Trusted is different. Trusted shortens the sales cycle. Trusted reduces resistance. Trusted lowers the cost of reacquisition because customers do not leave so quickly. Trusted gives you referrals that ad spend cannot buy with the same credibility. Trusted gives you room to charge properly instead of running your company like a discount warehouse with branding. And that is the real shift many founders are still missing. The game is no longer just about building demand, it is about building confidence. Now, let's be honest about why so many founders miss this. It is because scale is easier to show. Headcount can be posted, funding can be announced, growth charts can be screenshot, office space can be photographed. Trust is harder to brag about because it builds more quietly. It sits in customer behavior, repeat purchases, referral patterns, lower churn, stronger word of mouth, and the strange but very real fact that some companies can make one mistake and people stay, while others make one mistake and people disappear instantly. That difference is not luck, that is trust. And when the market gets harder, trust becomes the thing that absorbs shock. That is why I get impatient when founders still talk as if bigger is automatically safer. Bigger without trust is just a larger structure with more weight and more ways to. If your culture is weak, your service is inconsistent, your communication is hollow, and your reputation is thin, then scaling faster does not solve those problems. It magnifies them. So when people ask what asset makes or breaks a startup, the honest answer is not branding in the shallow logo and color sense, and it is not market share in the lazy spreadsheet sense. The deeper answer is authority and trust together. Authority tells the market you know what you are talking about. Trust tells the market you will actually deliver what you claim. One without the other is unstable. Authority without trust makes you look impressive and unreliable. Trust without authority makes you decent but forgettable. Together, they become one of the hardest things for a competitor to take from you. Now, if this is already hitting harder than the usual startup nonsense you hear online, click like, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with other founders who are still confusing noise with strength. Now, let's go into how this actually gets built, because saying build trust is easy and useless unless it translates into behavior. The first thing is consistency. And I mean real consistency, not branding consistency in the childish sense of matching fonts and posting 3 times a week. I mean the kind of consistency where customers can rely on your product, your service, your communication, and your standards without wondering which version of your company they are going to get today. Trust is impossible without consistency because inconsistency forces the customer to stay alert. The moment people feel they need to monitor whether you will deliver this time, the trust is already damaged. The second thing is proof, and most startups are terrible at this because they hide their best evidence or they ask for trust before earning it. You do not get authority by declaring yourself innovative. You get it by showing real outcomes, real customers, real stories, real retention, real transformation, real satisfaction. Social proof is not decoration. It is borrowed credibility. And if you do not systematically collect and display proof, then you are asking the market to do too much emotional labor to believe you. The third thing is human connection. This is where smaller companies should have an advantage, but many of them waste it by trying to look big too early. Big companies can afford to be distant because they already have momentum and institutional familiarity. Startups cannot. A startup that feels cold, generic, and transactional is basically volunteering to be compared on price alone. Human connection is what makes people feel they are buying from people who understand them rather than from another faceless machine trying to optimize conversion. If you are still small enough to care personally and you choose not to, that is not strategy. That is stupidity. The fourth thing is integrity. And this is where the truth gets brutal. Many founders think trust is built when everything is working smoothly. It is not. Trust is built when things go wrong and people see how you behave under pressure. Anybody can sound customer-centric when delivery is on time and the product works. The real test is what happens when you miss something, break something, delay something, or disappoint someone. Do you hide, spin, and make excuses? Or do you own the issue cleanly and fix it properly? Customers do not expect perfection. They expect honesty. And if your company cannot be honest under pressure, then you are building something fragile, whether you admit it or not. The fifth thing is measurement. And this is where founders sabotage themselves by watching the wrong scoreboard. Followers, impressions, raw traffic, downloads, and vanity engagement numbers may look impressive, but most of them do not tell you whether the market trusts you. What matters more is referral rate, repeat purchase behavior, retention, quality of reviews, quality of inbound demand, and how much of your growth comes from confidence rather than coercion. If customers only return because you keep paying to interrupt them, you do not have trust. You have noise with a budget. They built top-line motion without building deep belief. The moment acquisition gets more expensive, the moment a bigger player enters, the moment one bad quarter lands, the whole thing starts wobbling because the customer relationship was never strong enough to hold the weight. Now, let me say something even more direct. If your startup is depending on attention more than trust, it is already more fragile than you think. If your strategy is built around being louder instead of being more believed, it is already weaker than you think. And if your entire identity as a founder is attached to growth metrics that make you look successful while your customers still feel only loosely attached to your brand, then you may not be building a real company at all. You may be building an expensive illusion that survives only as long as the market remains generous. That is the harsh truth. A lot of founders avoid because it is easier to chase more growth than to build deeper trust. More growth feels fast, deeper trust feels slow. But when the market turns, the slow asset is usually the one that keeps the company alive. Now, if this conversation is forcing you to think more honestly about what you are actually building, click like, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it before they waste another year scaling something hollow. So let me bring this home clearly. What is the number one asset that will make or break your startup? It is trust. Not the soft, fluffy version people use in marketing slides, but the hard commercial version that changes customer behavior, changes retention, changes referrals, changes pricing power, changes resilience, and changes whether your business survives when the easy growth years are over. You can raise money without trust for a while. You can buy traffic without trust for a while. You can manufacture hype without trust for a while. But you cannot build a truly durable startup without it. Because once the market gets crowded, skeptical, and expensive, trust becomes the thing that makes customers stay, makes others recommend you, and makes the business harder to replace. That is the asset. And the founders who understand this early stop asking how to look bigger and start asking how to become more believed. That is the real shift. If this gave you a sharper and more truthful way to think about startup survival, click like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with other founders who are serious about building something that lasts. And if you want deeper discussions about trust, strategy, leadership, Period 9 business dynamics, and how to build businesses that survive beyond hype, join the Destiny Architect Telegram chat, where we continue these conversations with people who want clarity,